I know the answer to this question already because you've not stopped smiling while talking about it, right? But a lot of people, when they chase a goal or a dream and work 10, 15 years towards it, there's an anticlimax when it finally happens because it doesn't live up to how you built it in your head. Was that ever the case? Has there ever been an anticlimactic moment after that summer, or?
Absolutely not. No, you know, I've always, you know, it's the last few years, mate, have been an absolute roller coaster. It feels like things have gone from strength to strength, and there is obviously, you know, there's a lot of pressure in the music industry, which I've learned to deal with, and there's the ups and downs, and sometimes things don't go right, and those moments are tough.
Well, surely the biggest moment, Joel, like you've made it, you've had that enormous summer, and then COVID.
Yeah.
So everything stops. There's no gigs, there's no travel. Did you feel like, I can't believe I finally made it and now the world has changed? Was there a sense of like, this isn't right, what do I do about it?
Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy time because, so at this point, you know, like, I was on to the next record, which was Lonely. And now that was my follow-up to Sorry. And Lonely is a top 10 as well. So I just had back-to-back top 10s. And at the time, I was on tour supporting Jax Jones. And I had this is like back in like January, February 2020.
Yeah.
And I had the whole year planned out with these big festivals.
Because everyone must have wanted a
gigs.
piece of you, right?
Yeah, like, you know, and, you know, I had an agent that come on board and was booking these huge gigs that I'd always dreamed of playing. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is going to be the biggest year of my life. I just had 2 big hit records. And then boom, COVID hits. Everything cancelled. And I'm back in my bungalow going, no, like, why? Like, surely not. Just as I'm about to go and do all these big tours and festivals.
Did you think you'd got a glimpse and then it was gone?
Yeah, I did. And it was, listen, mate, other people went through a lot harder than I did. Like, you know, I was in a great position still. But just for me as a DJ.
Sure, it's all relative though,
yeah,
right?
It's all relative.
Allowed
like,
to feel sad.
I felt really sad, mate, because I just, you know, gigs were just getting cancelled in front of my eyes.
So what did you do? Talk me through how you got through that period.
Looking back on it now, you know, I had to accept that the stuff was kept getting cancelled. Always had that glimmer of hope of this is only going to be a short-term thing and it's going to come back. I'd still have my summer. I remember I was still booking gigs for the summer going, it'll be right by then, you know. This is just going to be a 3-month thing with Fiverr. And at the time as well, I was working on my track Head and Heart. And everything stopped and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus in the studio on the next records and get my music ready. So when it comes back, you know, I've got even more bangers coming.
Is that the most important thing? Because I guess that you could have had that maybe self-doubt that, you know, I was the flavour of that summer, but now the world is going to change so much and people might think of me as 2019. Or were you so confident that you could continue delivering the music that now you had that platform, you were just going to build from it?
I feel like I was in a good place with good momentum, and I was like, things were just clicking in the studio, the music was working, and, you know, I was working on other demos that felt really strong, like Head and Heart. So I was like, I've got more to come, like I can keep going with this, you know. So I don't think I ever doubted that I would, you know, lose my momentum musically, because I had some stuff that I was working on that I felt confident in. Now, looking back now on that time period, it was actually a blessing for me.
Okay.
Because I would have gone out and toured the hell out of 2020. You know, like we said earlier, I say yes to everything because I love DJing. I want to be in front of people. So I was saying yes to every single gig that was coming in for that year. I was like, I try to get on the road, DJ in front of everyone. But with those gigs getting cancelled, it meant that I had actually stopped gigging and really focus in on the music. And that's when I made Head and Heart. And that's, you know, been my biggest ever record.
So you almost needed the time for that.
To focus.
Were you worried about, would you have just burnt out, do you think? Would you have just gone so hard?
I've learned the lesson since COVID that, you know, balancing touring and music is a difficult thing to do. Like last year, I definitely feel like I over-toured.
Okay.
I mean, I think I did nearly 200 gigs last year.
Jeez.
And that's global as well. That's America and back and around Europe and, you know, and it's hard to be touring that much and get the music to the level it needs to be at as well.
Because something's alwa's got to give, right?
Something's got to give. And that's why this year I'm still touring like absolute crazy, but I'm aware that I need to also have as much time as I can possibly to work on the music and get it to the level it needs to be at. So looking back on the COVID time, having to come away from touring at a pivotal point in my career where I've just had 2 back-to-back hits, you know, because you can have 2 hits and then fade away, man. You need to cement yourself in this industry. You need to like have a lot of hits.
Yeah, you need to keep them coming.
You got to keep them coming, man, because people move on quickly.
So do you feel a lot of pressure now you've reached the platform you have to keep delivering? Because I imagine inspiration and creativity, too much pressure will just kill the creativity. So how do you manage that pressure to perform, the pressure to keep the hits coming? You're such a laid-back guy. It seems that you don't really have that, but is that a problem?
No, I definitely do. Maybe people don't see that, but you know, I really do feel the pressure. It's a very competitive industry, and music is always changing as well. So what I was doing a few years ago is not going to work now. So I need to go with the trends and almost be in front of the trends as well of what I'm doing. And it's very difficult, man. That's why people like Calvin Harris, you know, Guetta, Tiesto, when I look at their careers, I'm like, they're amazing, they're gods, because they've stayed at the top of the game for decades.
Yeah.
You know, look at Calvin Harris now. I mean, like, a genius, man. He keeps reinventing and able to just stay ahead of the curve of his music, and that's so inspirational to me. And I need to, you know, when I come with fresh music, it needs to work, it needs to be relevant, man, and it's a difficult thing to do.
How does the pressure affect you? It affects everyone in different ways, right? It could be sleepless nights or killing that creativity.
Yeah.
How does it affect you and how do you deal with it?
Oh, there's definitely sleepless nights, you know, and it's on my mind 24/7, and I think this is why, I mean, I only can talk for myself, but it's not a job, it's my life, I call it. It's not a job, it's my life. There's nothing outside of it. There's no separation. This is everything. It's on my mind 24/7, every single day of the week. There's no like, okay, work's over today. You know, I'm not thinking about it. It's always on my mind, you know, that constant pressure, thinking of, you know, what I need to do, what I need to work on, how I can make things better, what's the next move. It's constant, man.
So you're worried about burning out? I guess your management team are, but
yeah, my management team are definitely worried.
What
they're
about
definitely
you, though?
worried.
Because are you able to identify when maybe things are getting a bit too much and take the foot off the gas? How do you manage that?
I'm okay with it, and I won't take my foot off the gas because I feel like if I do, that's when I might slip.
Okay.
And I heard a quote on a podcast recently. I'm sure you've heard this one, but it was the first time I heard it. But it really struck home to me, and it was pressure is a privilege. And when I heard that, it really hit home to me, because I do always feel this pressure, but it's a privilege that I get to feel this pressure because I've worked my whole life to be in this position, to have this pressure on me. It's what I always wanted, and it's the reality of the industry and trying to stay at the top of it. So, you know, I think there's moments in a day where I have to check myself and take a deep breath. When things are getting really intense and really crazy, is, you know, you got this, bro, like, and kind of have a little word with myself, and you know, I do that during the day sometimes. You know, maybe there is ways that I can, you know, work out that I can cope with things better that I haven't found yet. Maybe that is something that I need to do.
So, sounds like something you're open to, though, like finding new ways of working or recovering or whatever it might be.
Yeah, you know, and you know, maybe take, you know, scheduling in the diary, maybe a few days off here and there is what I need to do, which I don't, because there's no days off at the moment, and there never is. But maybe that's something that I need to look at doing. But overall, you know, this is what I've chosen to do, and I'm here for it, man.
You've mentioned, and what is next? What is your ultimate ambition, and what do you want your legacy to be? You mentioned a couple of huge names there in the music industry. Where do you get your inspiration from? Is it from the likes of Calvin Harris or David Guetta, or do you look outside to other industries of people who are excelling for motivation or inspiration?
Yeah, you know, there's a few people that, you know, I'd say people even like, obviously in the DJ world, we've mentioned a few of them, like you said, that, you know, their careers are so inspirational to me. And, you know, outside of music, people like The Rock and, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo, you know, these people are winners. And I definitely watch some of their stuff online, and even I'm a big fan of Gordon Ramsay, you know.
Right, okay.
But just people that have got that mentality to win.
It's like relentlessness almost.
Yeah. And I definitely like get inspiration from people outside of music, and just people that have really got that will to win, and have been successful in their own right. So yeah.
What's the goal then? What's the ambition?
What's the goal?
You've ticked off so many things that you wanted to do. What's still on your bucket list of things you want to achieve?
I mean, there's like short-term goals. Like, for example, this year my album's coming out, which I've been working relentlessly to pull together. That's going to be coming out at the end of September, start of October.
Are you happy with where everything is?
Yes, I'm happy with everything is. Obviously.
Are you someone? Sorry to jump in, but are you someone who's never quite happy? There's just a day when it's got to be done by, or
Correct.
Can you go? Do you know what? It's done. I'm happy.
There's rare occasions where I will be like, I'm happy 100%. But yeah, normally I always feel like I can add a bit better.
Yeah, it's just got to be done.
Yeah. So the album is coming this year, which is going to be a big moment for me. The last 5 years of my life and my work is going to kind of come together in a body of work, which I'm going to present, and I can't wait to announce that and get that out. And I'm going to be really proud of that body of work, and it's going to be a big moment for me. So this year, it's all about the album, the music, and then longer term plans, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing, man. I want to grow my brand to a big global DJ brand, and there's work to do. There's areas of the world that I haven't played in. I haven't been to South America yet. I haven't really played a lot in Asia. I've done a few gigs. There's a big world out there, and I want to have that global recognized DJ brand, like we said, like Calvin, like Tiesto, like Guetta. I want to get myself there,
How confident are you it's going to happen?
It's going to happen.
I knew you were going to say that. But I had to ask the question anyway.
No. It's not in a cocky way. I don't mean it like that. But in my mind,
I don't think it's an arrogance. It's a confidence.
I have to believe it's going to happen. Because if you don't believe it's going to happen, who is, man?
Are you going to set a time frame on it, or are you just going to do one season, 1 year at a time?
Never set a time frame, man. You can't do that. Because you'll only be disappointed probably. But you've got to believe that it's going to happen, of course, bro.
You said to me before that it never feels like work. Do you think that's always going to be the case? Or if at a point it does begin to feel like work, is that when you're going to think about doing something else?
I don't think it'll ever feel like work. It's my passion. And listen, I still get more excited today about a gig, the same excitement I felt when I was 14 years old, played at the pub. I still feel that buzz.
You never have to dial it up. You're always ready to go. You can always give 100%.
Yes, always. And that's how I know that, I am doing what I was meant to do. I'm living my dream, and it's not going to stop.
What about the downsides? We've talked about all the highs. Obviously, you travel so much, and I want to talk to you about how you deal with that. But what about the sacrifices, the romantic relationships, your family relationships? Mm-hmm. How do you juggle all of that?
Yeah, that's tricky. That's definitely the biggest sacrifice. I mean, I've been single now for 6 years, and there's no space in my life to have a relationship.
And you okay with that? Because a lot of people wouldn't be happy to put that all to one side.
I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything.
Okay.
I am so committed to this career, to what I'm doing, that I don't feel like I need it. I don't feel like I'm missing it. I'm happy doing what I'm doing, and I don't almost want a distraction.
Okay.
To do what I want to do, it takes so much focus that I don't want anything to get in the way of it. Right. I know that I have to stay so, have that tunnel vision, that laser focus to make this happen.
And you think a relationship would distract from that? It wouldn't enhance what you're doing?
Oh, God. I mean, the thing is, a relationship takes work. I've been in them before, and, my life is very selfish. So I'm always on the road. I'm in a different country nearly every day. I'm on a flight nearly every day, and my time is consumed with the music I'm making and the sets I'm preparing, and how would I ever dedicate any more time to give someone love?
Is that because you can't fully commit to someone now? That's why you're not doing it?
Yeah,
Because you just don't have the time or the resource available?
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Are you worried that there might come a time where maybe it's too late? Or are you confident that you are going to find someone when the time suits you?
Yeah, I mean, my mum always says this. She's like, Joe, when are you going to settle down? I'm like, yeah, but how am I going to do it? I'm going on tour.
But I'm just interested, Joel, because you're talking about how like this is your life and this is what you always want to do.
Yeah.
How are your relationships, specifically a romantic relationship or maybe a family with kids? How's that all going to fit into it if you're never going to stop doing what you do?
I know. I don't have an answer for that.
Is it something you juggle with?
It does creep in my mind every now and again, because obviously, like, I do want to have a family, like anyone does. Like, of course I do. But at the same time, I know I need to stay so focused on what I'm doing, and it's not something that I can explore right now. I need to, there's so many more goals and things I want to achieve in this career that I'm doing. That there isn't room for it.
There's not kind of like a career ambition you've got, like once you've ticked off, maybe you can have a couple of years downtime or slow things down a little bit. You're not thinking like that yet?
I mean, potentially that could happen, I think I always have this fear as well, was like, I don't want to lose what I've got.
Right.
Because I've waited and worked so hard to get it, that now I'm here, I'm like, I have to stay 100%.
You're like a shark, you got to keep swimming. You don't want to stop, right?
But maybe, after like years of doing this more and more, I might feel a bit more like, all right, I'm cemented.
You'll know when the time comes.
Yeah. So, but right now, it's definitely like 100% focus on what I'm doing, and in the future, who knows what's going to happen, man.